Well, it depends, really. I mean, sometimes I'll eat somewhere near the office, especially if I'm not having a busy day.
Uh-huh.
But most days, I don't have time to go out to eat, so I make something at home and bring it with me.
Really?
Yeah, I usually just bring a couple of sandwiches.
And do you eat early?
That depends. I normally try to wait until 1 o'clock to eat, but sometimes I'm so hungry, I eat half an hour or an hour before that.
I see.
2.
Well, my parents always want us to sit together and eat at the kitchen table.
How come?
My mom likes family time. I don't mind in the evening, but in the morning I'm always late getting out of bed and I don't have time. So when the school bus arrives outside our house, I'm usually still finishing getting dressed.
Right. So what do you do then?
I just grab some fruit and bread and I eat it on the bus. Sometimes I don't eat anything at all.
Really?
I know it's not good for my health, but I really hate getting up early.
3.
It's our favorite meal of the day, actually.
Why is that?
Well, first of all, it's the biggest meal of the day for us, and we really enjoy being able to relax after working all day. We can take our time, without rushing, you know.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes my wife and I eat out on the balcony.
On the balcony?
Yeah, we have a small table out there that we love to use.
And how long do you take?
Well, that depends. If the weather is really beautiful, sometimes we stay out there eating and chatting and relaxing until 10 or 11 o'clock.
4.
Usually my colleagues and I eat together. I really enjoy their company because I eat my other meals at home alone.
So you eat in a group?
Yeah, usually there are at least 10 of us, so we have to find a pretty big restaurant. We have a lot of fun, and we always order food to share. You know, not just individual meals. It's really sociable.
How long is your break?
Only an hour. The boss always expects us to be back at work on time. If the boss is away, we can stay out longer, but that doesn't happen very often.
5.
Yes, I know. People always say it's the most important meal of the day. I guess they're right, but I find it really difficult to eat then. I'm just not hungry that early, and I'm always rushing to get to work on time.
I see. So what do you do?
Oh, I usually just have a cup of coffee and eat a piece of toast on my way to work. But later in the morning, around 10 o'clock, I often get so hungry I have to eat a snack.
What would you like me to put in it for you? I can use cheese, maybe some spinach, mushrooms, tomatoes, whatever you like.
Cheese and spinach would be nice.
All right. I normally make them with about 3 eggs per person.
Really? What else goes in them? I've never made one before.
Oh, just a little milk and some spices.
I see.
And then you put the mixture in a pan with a little butter or oil. Don't use olive oil.
Why not?
Well, it's better to use a mix of vegetable oil and butter, and then cook it over medium heat. A few minutes should be enough.
Okay.
2.
This is a quick and easy breakfast, and the thing I like about it is it's a good way of using leftovers from the refrigerator. You know, like rice and maybe some chicken or vegetables.
I see.
Now, to start with, I always chop up whatever I want to put in it, like the cooked chicken, the onions and vegetables, and so on. And first, you need to fry them in oil, like this.
Right.
Make sure the pan is really hot. Now, once your meat and vegetables are hot, add a few cups of cooked rice, say 3 cups, and some spices and stir everything together for a few minutes. You want the rice to brown up a little.
Okay.
Some people also like to stir in a couple of eggs, but I like to fry the eggs separately and put them on top when I serve it.
Sounds delicious.
3,
So how much rice do we need?
I usually use 1 cup of rice per person, so we'll need 2 cups.
All right.
And for each cup of rice, you need about 5 cups of water.
Okay. Is that all?
No. Now we're going to add some chicken pieces, some chopped green onions, some peanuts, and salt and pepper. Then we'll cook it over very slow heat until we have a nice thick porridge. It takes quite a while to cook. I hope you're not hungry.
No, I'm fine. When do you add the soy sauce?
At the end, on the table, when you're ready to eat.
I see.
Don't use olive oil.
Why not?
Don't use olive oil.
Really?
Don't use olive oil.
How come?
Don't use olive oil.
Why is that? Then add the chili, okay? And remember, when you're handling chili peppers, don't touch your eyes.
Why is that?
Well, they can really burn your eyes.
2,
When you're cooking, it's always better to use fresh herbs rather than dried herbs.
Uh-huh.
They're much tastier and better for you, of course.
3,
Generally speaking, you'll find it much easier to use a rice cooker than to cook rice in a pan.
right.
For one thing, it turns off automatically when it's finished.
4,
I'd recommend you use vegetable oil when you're cooking. A lot of people prefer it.
How come?
It has a clean taste and it heats up quickly.
5,
When the steak is cooked, let it rest for a few minutes before you serve it.
All right.
That makes the meat more tender.
Today we're rating a few local places to eat with our panel of college students. Who better to judge the quality and value of food? Let's start with a budget place. The buffet at the train station. It gets a lot of business. Alex, what do you think of it? Would you recommend it?
I used to eat there pretty often, but quite frankly, I can't stand the place anymore.
So what's it like now? Has it gotten worse?
Yeah. It used to be okay, but it has gotten much worse lately.
I see. But you have to admit that the prices are really cheap.
Yeah, it's certainly cheap, but the food is awful, and I don't think it's very fresh.
Really? That's terrible.
Yeah, I'm sure they keep their food too long. I was quite ill after I ate there a few months ago.
2,
Okay, well, maybe we'll have more luck when we move to a more elegant place for special meals. What about that new seafood restaurant by the wharf? The Waterside Cafe? Yes, Ellie?
I went there with my boyfriend last Saturday night for his birthday.
How was the restaurant? Did you like it?
It was great. They play nice music, the view is beautiful, and we walked by the water after our meal.
What are the prices like? Is it expensive?
Yeah, it's really expensive, and the servers are pretty rude and snobby, but I think it's worth it.
And how about the meal itself? Was it good?
Yes, the seafood was terrific. So fresh and delicious. I'd really recommend the restaurant. You should try it.
3,
Okay, does anyone know a cafe called the Lucky Cafe near the library?
Yeah, I know it.
Okay, Lily, what do you think of it?
I've tried it a couple of times, but I really don't like the place. It's always very noisy and crowded, and it's too dark as well.
But they have great sandwiches and salads and stuff like that, don't they?
Yeah, I know. The food tastes good, but the service is so slow.
I agree. The servers do seem to take a long time to bring your food.
Yeah, and half of them don't know what's on the menu. Plus, they often make mistakes with your order.
4,
All right. What about a good noodle bar? Can anyone recommend one? Jaewon?
I often go to the Big Sun Noodle Bar.
Really? What's it like?
It's fun and not too expensive. Lots of students go there, so I often meet my friends there in the evenings.
What do they serve? Do they have lots of different types of noodles?
Well, they have about 10 different types of noodles. It's not a very big menu, but the noodles are delicious. Everything is always fresh and tasty. It's just right for someone on a limited budget.
So, are you going to have an appetizer, Justin?
Yeah, maybe something light. I guess the vegetable soup should be okay.
Are you still on a diet? How much weight do you want to lose?
Well, I still want to lose 5 kilos.
Really? How much have you lost so far? You look as if you've lost quite a bit.
Thanks, Emma. I've lost about 2 kilos so far.
Just through dieting?
Well, I've also been going to the gym regularly.
Well, I'm not on a diet and I'm hungry. I think I'll start with the garlic bread. It's usually pretty good here.
Is it? I think I'll have the grilled fish for my main dish, and maybe the garden salad. That should be enough.
Not for me. I think I'll have a double cheese pizza and French fries.
That sounds good, but too heavy for me. And it looks like ice cream and cake are out for me for dessert. But the fresh fruit sounds good. And I suppose you're going to have either the ice cream or the chocolate cake?
I think I'll have both.
Oh. Here comes the waiter now. Finally. The service is pretty slow here, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not that good.
What do you think of it?
Focus question.
Would you recommend it?
Opening question.
How was the restaurant?
Focus question.
Did you like it?
Opening question.
What are the prices like?
Focus question.
Is it expensive?
1,
What's the atmosphere like? Do they have live music?
2,
What are the waiters like? Are they friendly?
3,
What's the menu like? Do they serve spicy food?
4,
How are the prices? Are they too much for a student budget?
5,
Is it easy to get there? Is there a subway station nearby?